In this video, I'm going to be talking about the ad creative. Okay, so what you need to include in the creative for your Facebook ad. So how do we go about setting it up? Well, very simply, we're going to create a Facebook image post, and you can do this in one of two ways. You can either make the post directly to your fan page, and I recommend this when you have a single niche store. So that is, you want all of the fans of your fan page to see all of the product ads you create because they are all from the same niche. Okay, so if you have a single niche store, it makes sense to always post your ad creatives directly to your fan page. That way you will also get viral traffic from all of the fans on your fan page sharing, and you'll make sales directly from your fan page. If you have a multi-niche store, so you have fans on your fan page who've been kind of accumulated from a variety of different niches because you've been putting ads out in a variety of different niches, you'll probably want to create your image post as a dark post in the Power Editor, which means it's not going to be shown virally on your fan page, which means you're not going to bother people from other niches with products that aren't relevant to them. Okay, so if you've got a multi-niche store and you're running products to lots of different niches, you'll probably want to create the image post for your ad as a dark post in the Power Editor. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do both of these things in a few minutes. So next, your image post consists of two separate pieces. The first is the post text. So in the post text, the first thing you want to do is call out your target market. Okay, so if your target market is football fans, very simply start the post with football fans. Okay, or if your target market is nurses, then start with nurses as the word, just to call out the target market. And then the next thing you need to do in the text is stimulate engagement. So the point here is that we want our ads to be as viral as possible on Facebook, okay, which means we want as much interaction from the people who see our post as possible. So we want people sharing the post, we want people commenting on the post. So we want to do everything we can in the small amount of space we have available on the ad to stimulate that engagement. So in the post text, to stimulate engagement, I do things like ask for a comment of some description and make it a closed question so it's as simple as possible to answer. So something like, would you wear our exclusive new tee? Or would you wear this new bracelet? Or if it's a t-shirt, again, you could put, does this message resonate with you? So something that encourages a yes or no answer that's very easy for people to do. And then once you've done that, so you've called out the target market and you've stimulated engagement, simply provide the sales page link. So just put grab yours here or get yours here, whatever it might be, and then provide the link to your store. So that's all you need to do in the text. It's very simple. You've called out the market, you've asked them to make a comment of some sort, and you've shown the purchase link. Okay. Next is the image. So we need a square image. The larger the better, but 500 by 500 pixels is absolutely fine. And that will show up as a large image in the Facebook news feed. Okay, so it's taking up as much of the page real estate as possible. So your product image is going to be as visible as you can possibly make it. Make it just a simple product image on a white background. And then we're going to include what I call the viral element. So we're going to overlay onto that image some very simple text, which again is designed to help make your ad go viral. So it's going to be a little piece of text that says something like share with friends, or you could encourage a comment in this section as well, similar to what we did before in the post text, and you could put like this shirt Y/N to encourage them to comment below. So again, it's another piece which is intended to make your ad go as viral as possible, because the more viral it goes, the more people are going to see the post organically, and the cheaper the traffic to your website is going to be. Okay, the better your return on investment on your advertising. Okay, so that's really all there is to setting up your ad creative. I'm now going to switch over to sharing my screen and show you how I go about creating the images for free, and then how I go about making those posts in Facebook ready to start running the ad. Okay, so I'm going to go through how to use free software to set up your ad creative, okay, and specifically the image for the ad creative. So in this example, I'm going to use a t-shirt because that's probably the most complicated type of creative you'll set up. If you have a different type of product, like a necklace or a bracelet or something like that, you'll simply be using a picture as a kind of high def as possible picture of that particular item. So blown up as big as possible so that it fills as much of the space as possible. For a t-shirt, we're going to need to have a mock-up of the t-shirt. So the purpose of showing you this video is just to give you a few ideas on how you can get those mock-ups created. Okay, so I'm going to start off on the Printful.com. Okay, because on the Printful they provide a really good set of t-shirt mock-ups that we can use for free. Okay, so from the Printful.com we go to product and pricing, and then in the t-shirt section, if we scroll down, there's this mock-ups, and then Printful print file and mock-up generator, so you can come through to here. Now what we're going to want to do, you can choose different types, but we'll choose a t-shirt from the top. You can choose different brands. I'm going to go with American Apparel, and I'm going to go with the first option for the t-shirt, and we're going to go with a front t-shirt, and we're going to go with forest green, and you see we immediately get this mock-up t-shirt over here. And what I can do is right click on here, save image as, and then I'm just going to call it t-shirt mock-up green. Okay, so I've now saved that off, and I'm now going to come over to this website pixlr.com, which is pixlr.com, which is a free online editing tool, okay, for images. So if I scroll down, you'll see one of the options is Pixlr Editor. So I want to launch the web app, and as a starting point I'm going to open image from computer. I'm going to open up the t-shirt mock-up that I just saved off. Okay, and I can just make it a little smaller so it all fits nicely on the screen like that. And the first thing I want to do is crop slightly, because I want to have a square image, and I want to make sure that when I put the logo onto the t-shirt it's going to be as large as possible. It's important that you also make sure that this still looks like a t-shirt at the end, okay, because Facebook are very specific on not including too much text on your ad, the exception being when the text is part of the product. So you need to make sure that this is clearly a t-shirt, so that when Facebook look through your ad image it looks like a product, not just like a zoom in on the logo, which they don't like. Okay, so I'm going to use this top tool on the left, which is the cropping tool, and then constraint, it says no restriction. I want to change aspect ratio, width 1, height 1. So this is going to ensure that when I crop this down using the tool, it's going to have the same width as the height. Okay, so we're going to have a square image. So now I'm going to crop. So I'm going to try to remove as much of the white space at the top and side as possible. So it's going to end up looking like that. Okay, so it's clearly going to be a t-shirt, but I've removed as much of the white space as possible, and then it creates a grid you can see over the top, and if I double click I've now cropped down so that I've got the shirt as large as possible inside that square image. Okay, now at this point I can change the image size up here to be 500 by 500 pixels that I'm looking for. Okay, and again using this drag here I can just make everything look a little bit bigger for the sake of editing. Okay, so just make it big in my editor. Right, so now I've got my mock-up t-shirt. I want to put my design onto the top of that, so I'm going to go to File and Open Image, and somewhere I should have my design image saved off, so I'm going to double click. So for this demo I'm going to use the Shopify Store Pro logo as the shirt image. Okay, and this is going to create a new file within Pixlr with a new layer, which is this new image. So you'll see over in this layers section it's got a layer which is the new image I've created. I'm simply going to drag this over onto my t-shirt mockup, and it's going to open that layer in my mockup, and as you can see it's huge. If I use this arrow tool I can move it around. You can see it's way too big at the moment, so what I need to do is go to Edit, Free Transform, and it gives me the ability now to shrink this right down, and then I've shrunk it down to size. I'm going to drag it back to make sure it's in the right place. So here it is. So it's still a little bit too big. Drag it down a little bit more. Now it's about the right size. we're just going to play around until it's about the right size. Make sure it's in the right place on the shirt, so about there. And when we click away, it will say do we want to apply the changes, and yes. So we've now got the logo sitting in the right place on the shirt. The final thing that we want to do, obviously it's not looking great because this isn't a shirt I'm actually going to create, but you get the idea. So you can put your logo onto the shirt. And next we are going to put that viral element that I discussed earlier in the slides onto the image. So there's two parts to this. The first, we want to go to the Shapes tool, and the first option here is the Rectangle tool. Okay, we're going to go across to the color of the rectangle, and what we can do is simply use this color dropper to pick a color from the image that we'd like the rectangle that we're going to draw to be. So I'm going to choose this brighter green image. Yeah, okay. And now we can come down to the bottom and we can draw our rectangle over the top like this, over the bottom section of the image. Okay, so there's our rectangle. And we're going to put over the top of that our viral element text. Okay, so we pick the text tool and again select somewhere down in the bottom. And then our text is going to be something like share with friends. Okay, and we're going to want to do a few things. So first we'll want to change the font. The font in particular that I like is called, if I can find it, Aksure Handwriting. Okay, because it depends on the niche, obviously, what font is going to work, but I just like this font because it looks kind of cool. Okay, and you're going to want to change the color. I'm going to make it white. So if we go to RGB color and then we just set all of these up to 255, that will make it white. Okay, we're going to change the size of the font to be a bit larger. Might be too large, let's just drag it across and see. That's about right, actually. So it's nice and large. Just make it ever so slightly smaller. That's perfect. Make sure we've dragged it into the center. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that now. And that looks pretty good. So we've got a nice large image of the shirt. It's clearly a shirt, so it shouldn't be against Facebook's guidelines, even if we've got a lot of image on the logo. And then we've got the viral element, share with friends, at the bottom. Okay, so at this point, all I'm going to do is go to File and Save. Save to my computer. We're going to call it SSP shirt add page post. Okay, we're going to save it off as a pung and hit OK, and it will give us the option where to save it. So I'm just going to save it to my desktop, and we are done. Okay, so that's how we can go about using free software to create the image for our ad creatives. And next I'll be going over to Facebook and showing you how to use that image to create the ad creative. Okay, so here I am on our new Facebook brand fan page, okay, and we're going to go about creating our post that we're going to use for our first Facebook ad, okay. So very simply, all we're going to do first is make the text for the post, and that's going to follow the guidelines I laid out in the slides. So first of all, we want to call out our target market, so it would be something like Shopify Store Pro fans, and then just an element of text that's going to encourage engagement. So something like, would you wear our exclusive new tee? And then we wanted to put obviously the link to the sales page, so grab yours here, and then this is the link to the page in your store, so it'd be something like yourstore.com/tee, whatever the link in your store is. Okay, then we're going to go to photo or video to make sure it's a photo post, and we're going to include the creative image that we've just created in the previous step. And that's all there is to it. So we can now publish this post. Okay, so there we have it. Shopify Store Pro, and this is how the ad is going to appear in the newsfeed. Okay, so would you wear exclusive new tee? Grab yours here. It's got all the elements you want. It's got the link, and it's got the nice large image of the product, and it's got the viral element. Okay, so this post is now ready to go and use in setting up our ad. Okay, so I'm just going to go through one further thing, which is how to set up the same post as a dark post in the Power Editor. Okay, so that is for the case where you have a more general themed store. Okay, so here I am over in the Power Editor, and I want to go in this menu at the top to the page posts section. Okay, and then from the left hand side I want to find the page from which I want to create the dark post. So I'm going to use my Shopify Store Pro page. Okay, and then I want to select the option Create Post. And then I want to make sure it's a photo type post. I will then select the image, which is going to be the image creative that I created earlier, and then the text, similar to what I did on the fan page, it will be Shopify Store Pro fans, would you wear our exclusive new tee? And then grab yours here. yourstore.com/T, like that. Okay, so let's just check that looks right. Yeah, so we've got the image and we've got the text and we've got the link. So we've got all the elements we need, and this post will only be used as an ad, so make sure that is ticked, because that will ensure that this is a dark post that won't get, this says here, this post will not get organic distribution, so it won't be sent out to all the fans of your page. We're only going to use it as an ad. So we can then go ahead and create the post. And you will see now we have the new post created at the top. You can click on it to preview it, and the little moon next to it means that this is a dark post that won't be shown to all the fans on your page. Okay, so that is how you go about creating your ad creative post as a dark post, not to be shown organically to the fans of your page. So in the next section we'll go on to use the ad creatives, the posts that we've just made, to go on and create our first Facebook ad campaigns.